Welcome back, children. We are doing lesson 4, that is algorithms and flowcharts. In the previous class I have explained about algorithms, and now today I am going to explain you flowchart. So what is flowchart? The flowchart is a pictorial representation of the steps of an algorithm used to solve a particular problem, or in the other words you can say a flowchart is pictorial representation of an algo. And in the flowchart we use some symbols to do the work. These symbols are very much familiar to you because you have been doing the flowcharts in class 6 and 7 also. So these symbols are, the first one is start stop box, and it is used in the beginning and ending of the flowchart, and this is oval. And the second one is input output box, and it is parallelogram. It is used for accepting inputs or giving output of the program, or it is input output box. The next one is rectangle, and it is processing box, and this symbol is used for writing the processing instructions and doing calculations. The next one is kite, and it is called decision or condition box, and it is used for checking or applying any condition in the program. Next one is flow lines. Flow lines show the direction in which the control of the program is moving. These arrows are used to connect the various geometrical symbols in a flowchart. And the last one is connectors, and these are used to connect one part of the flowchart to another. So now let us see the features of flowchart. A flowchart should have only one start and stop symbol. The general direction of flow in any flowchart should be from top to bottom or from left to right. The flow lines should not cross each other. If a flowchart occupies more than one page, then off-page connectors should be used to direct the flow of information. So let us see the example. Example 1 is process of making tea. So first you have to start, then the second is take a pan, water, sugar, tea leaves and milk. So if you are taking something, it means we have to use input output box. And next one is put pan on the gas burner and pour water into it. So we are doing some processing, so we have to use here process box, and the process box is rectangle. And after this, turn on the gas. It is also the process, so we have to use the process box. Then put some tea leaves when water boils. Again we are doing processing. Put some sugar and add milk. Again we are doing processing. After processing, take off the pan. Again we are doing processing. And now after this, sieve it in a cup and serve the hot tea. We are serving the hot tea, it means we are giving output, so it should be in the input output box, and that is parallelogram. And then that's it, use the symbol stop. So this is the flowchart to make tea. Now let us see the second one. Calculate the sum, difference and product of two numbers, and it's very easy for you. Start, then input two numbers, let us say a and b. A and b, these are two variables that we are using. Now in the process box, find out the sum equal to a plus b, print sum. Then the difference, a minus b, print difference. Product equal to a into b, print product, and stop. So let us see the third example. Find the greatest of two numbers. Start, read a and b. Read means input, we are inputting the values of a and b, so we have to use here input output box, that is parallelogram. And now you have to check which one is greater. For the every decision we have to use decision box, and that is kite. So here you have to write is a equal to b. If it is yes, the answer is yes, then print both numbers are equal, and stop. And if it is no, now you have to check is A is greater than B or not. If A is greater than B gives yes, it means A is greater. In this case, you have to print A is greater and go to stop. And if A is greater than B is false, it means B is greater. In this case, print B is greater and go to stop. So this is the way we do the flowchart. Now let us see the advantages of a flowchart. So what are the advantages? The first one is communication. The pictorial representation of the flowchart provides better communication. It is easier for the programmer to explain the logic of the program. The second advantage is effective analysis. It is very useful technique as flowchart is a pictorial representation that helps the programmer to analyze the problem in detail. Next one is proper documentation. Flowcharts serve as a good program documentation which is needed for various purposes to solve the problems. The next one is efficient coding. Flowcharts act as a roadmap for the programmers. It gives a clear idea to the programmers to write a program. Next is proper debugging. Using a flowchart, we can systematically detect, locate and remove mistakes from the program. Next, efficient programming maintenance. The maintenance of operating program becomes easy with the help of a flowchart. It enables the programmer to put in more effort. There are certain disadvantages also. So let us see the disadvantages of a flowchart. The first one is complex logic. Sometimes a program logic is quite complicated. In that case, a flowchart becomes complex and clumsy. The second one is alteration and modifications. If alterations are required, then flowchart may require a complete redrawing. So this is one of the disadvantages. Then the next one is reproduction. As the flowchart symbols cannot be typed, reproduction of flowchart becomes a problem. So this is all, and now let us see the examples given here. So it is under the heading programming practice. The first example is write an algo and make a flowchart to calculate the area of a circle. So to calculate the area of a circle, as you know, the area of circle, formula for area of circle is pi r square, means area equal to pi into r into r. The first step for the algorithm will be read the values and store them in RAD and pi. Here we are using two variables, RAD for the radius and pi for the value of pi, that is 3.14. Now the step 2 is compute area of circle. Here area of circle is we are using area of circle as variable. So in this area of circle equal to pi into RAD, it means we are doing here calculation by using the formula pi r square and storing the result in area of circle, and then the step 3 is print the value of area of circle. So it will print the area of circle. In flowchart, first is start, and then read RAD and pi, means we are inputting radius and value of pi here, and then apply the formula area of circle equal to pi into RAD, and then display the area of circle, then stop. So this is flowchart for the question calculate the area of a circle. Now example 2 is write an algo and make a flowchart to swap two numbers. Swap two numbers means we are interchanging the values of two numbers, like a equal to 5, b equal to 6. And after the swapping, the value of a becomes the value of b and value of b becomes value of a. So how to do it in the algo? Just step 1, read two numbers and store them in a and b. Then read the third number c. In fact, we are using third variable c to swap the values, and we need not store anything right now here in step 2. And in step 3, interchange the values. And to interchange the values, first you need to store the value of A in C, then store the value of B in A, and store at the last store the value of C in B. So the code will be as it is written here: C equal to A equal to B, and then B equal to C. Now in step 4, print the values of A and B, and the values are interchanged. Now let us do the flow chart to save the values. The first step is start. Then the second step is read two numbers A and B. In A and B, we have to store the values. Now read third number C, and this C will be used as the third variable to store the values. Now in processing box, interchange the values: C equal to A equal to B, and B equal to C. And now display A and B. It will display the swapped values. And then now the next example, example 3, write algo and make a flow chart to check whether a number is even or odd. So the algo goes like this: step 1, read the number; step 2, check if the number is divisible by 2 or not. And this percent sign is the modulus operator, and it is used to find the remainder. It gives the remainder after dividing the number by 2, and if the remainder is 0, it means the number is even number. So in step 3, if the number is even, if true means if the number is even, then print the given number is even number. And in step 4, if false, print the number is not even. So this is algo for even or not. And the flow chart goes like this: start, input the number, and now check in the decision box if number is divisible by 2 or not. If it is true, means if it is divisible by 2, then print the number is even number, else the number is not even, and stop. And the fourth example is write algo and make a flow chart to find the factorial of a number. And children, factorial, the program for factorial you have already done in class 7. Okay, so just let us do it. Algorithm: step 1, read the number; step 2, initialize counter fact. Initialize counter fact equal to 1 and j equal to 1. Then in step 3, compute fact, and it is fact equal to fact into j, and increment j by 1. And in step 4, check if j is less than num or not. In this we are doing the loop as you do in the programs for loop. So for loop is done in this way in the algo. In step 4, check if j is less than num. If the condition is true, repeat step 4, and if false, then go to step 5. If the condition is true, means if j is less than num, then you have to go to step 3, compute fact, increment j by 1. Again come to step 4, check if j is less than equal to num. If it is condition is true, then again go to step 3. Actually it is written here wrong. Not repeat step 4. It should be repeat step 3. So every time you have to go to step 3, calculate the factorial, and then increase the value of j by 1, and go to step 4. Again step 3, 4, till the condition is true. And once the j becomes equal to the number, you have to go to step 5, and the step 5 will be print the value stored in fact, and that will be the factorial of the number. Now flow chart for the same. Flow chart you have already made in class 7, and again it will be like this: start, input number, initialize the variables fact equal to 1 and j equal to 1. Now do the processing: fact equal to fact into j and j equal to j plus 1. And now check whether the value of j is less than equal to num or not. If it is true, then again you have to repeat the same, means calculate the fact equal to fact into j, and j equal to, increase the value of j by 1, j equal to j plus 1. Repeat the steps till the value of j is less than or equal to the num. And when the value of j becomes more than number, then the condition becomes false, and you have to display fact, and then stop. So this is all about your flowchart and algorithm chapter, children, and I would like to say to do all the exercises that are given here, like fill in the blanks, true false, multiple choice questions, and draw the flowchart symbol for the following. Try to do it by yourself, and in next class I will explain all the exercises. And I know it is very simple chapter for you, as you are very much aware of the flowcharts from the starting of the class 7, so there will not be any problem in this. Okay, so try to do the exercises, and till then, take care and bye bye.